Hello YouTube, this is John, too tall for baseball, with another drum lesson today. Today's lesson is going to be on the paradiddle, single paradiddle, and a double paradiddle, and ways to practice both so you can learn how to get it smooth with each one. So, there are a few things you need to be able to play in order to play a single paradiddle cleanly. First off, you need to have a clean double stroke roll. You need to be able to play the bounces slowly, like this. Now, when you're playing these bounces, you don't want to use extra fingers to help the bounces. Just let the stick bounce. Now, there's a reason that I say do that, because once you start playing the paradiddles and they're going to alternate with each hand, right, left, right, right, left, left. If you're helping the stick along with the bounces by doing, let's say, accenting the secondary note or whatever it is, if you're trying to single stroke it, it makes it more difficult. So you have a lot of moving parts when you do that. So I'm going to try to make it simple. So what I'm going to do is every time I come to the bounce part, I'm going to call that a slow bounce. Slow bounce, slow bounce, slow bounce, slow bounce. Slow bounce, slow bounce, slow bounce. Okay, so if your double stroke roll is not smooth, you will need to first practice that until it is smooth before you try to do a single paradiddle. Otherwise, you're not going to get it clean and it's going to be a mess. So, okay, so you got the double stroke roll that you have to be able to play clean. The next thing you'll need to be able to do is play accented notes and unaccented notes. Oftentimes, young players, when they try to play single paradiddles or accented notes, they don't have their low notes consistent as opposed to the accented notes. So the key to playing accents cleanly is to make sure that you have the low notes consistent. Okay? So you can't forget about the low notes. They're very important. Now let's do it with the left hand. Okay, so now you got a double stroke roll you have to be able to do cleanly. The accented and unaccented notes you have to be able to do cleanly. And then you have to be able to lead with the left hand or lead with the right hand. Now I want to isolate each hand, and we want to work out what each hand does with the paradiddle. So on the right hand, I'm going to play this rhythm first. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, accent, 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 accent. Now I'm going to put the slow bounce in there. Slow bounce, slow bounce, slow bounce, slow bounce. You want to practice this over and over and over and over again until you're really comfortable with it. Now notice on the doubles, I'm not helping it with snapping my fingers or anything. Just letting it bounce. Now I'm going to play the same thing with my left hand. So it's left, right, right, left, right, right. Now I'm going to put the slow bounce in it. Now, one of the things that younger players will struggle with is after they play that accent, is that the next thing they play with that hand tends to be also accented or semi-accented. So what you have to do is be able to get your accent and then have that next note be down lower. So paradiddles split up. Okay? So that second note, which happens to be the double, has to be down. Now, what I would suggest doing when you're playing this is not to squeeze right here. Don't use this fulcrum. I would play that very, very light. Matter of fact, take your index finger off and try it that way. You'll find it's easier to catch the accent right there. It's easier to come back and play softer notes after you play that accent if you don't squeeze right here. Same thing with the left hand. So, three things again. Double stroke roll, slow bounce, and it's bouncing every time. And then accents with unaccented notes. Work for the lower notes to be all consistent. Now, after you play this a long time and you feel comfortable with both hands, go ahead and try to play paradiddle, paradiddle, tap, like this. Remember on the bounces, I'm slow bouncing that. Alright, now you've played that for a while and you feel comfortable with it. Let's play several at a time. Now, it's important to play that at a slow tempo. This is 82, and it's a good place to start. And it's actually kind of a little uncomfortable because playing that roll that slow at that tempo is kind of difficult to do. But that's okay. It's a good place to start. Now we crank it up a little bit more. This is actually easier to play. Notice the unaccented notes and then the accented notes. Let's talk about the double paradiddle. I'm going to break this down now in a very similar way as a single paradiddle, but in a way it's a little bit different. So that's a triplet. Now I do that sticking on purpose because now I'm allowing a gap, and then I'm going to go back and put that slow bounce in there. Here's the slow bounce. Slow bounce. Slow bounce. Now again, just like the single paradiddle, we're going to do this over and over and over again until you're really comfortable with it. Then we're going to try leading with the left hand. Now we're going to add the slow bounce. right hand. This is 64, by the way. You may have to do this over and over again. When you get comfortable with it, let's add the slow bounce. Go. All right, now let's do the other way. Now let's add the slow bounce. All right, now this time let's alternate them. Left hand. Right hand. Left hand. All right, now I'll take one on each hand and we'll play it this way. All right, now after you've done that many times and you feel comfortable with it, now we can play continuously. Now, believe it or not, it is kind of difficult to play really slow because of the slow bounce. Again, when you're playing the slow bounce, don't try to single stick it, don't try to help it, don't try to snap your fingers or do anything with your wrist. You've got to let the stick bounce if you're going to learn how to play these things, because later on when you try to play these things faster, everything's going to be moving so quick. You're going to put so many moving parts in there by trying to snap your fingers and all that. It's going to get very difficult real quick. It'll become a headache, actually. So we can crank it up a little bit now. This is 74. Okay, now we can crank it up a little bit more. This is 86. Okay, now the whole time you want to play relaxed, okay, and you want to really work for the lower notes, believe it or not, a whole lot more than the accents. So now I'm going to take some double paradiddles and mix them up with some single paradiddles. Now, for what it's worth, if I were to play a group of 6, which those double paradiddles are, 6, same thing as, same number of notes. Excuse me. If I were to play those 6 notes and I wanted to play them fast, I would actually play a paradiddle diddle, which is paradiddle diddle. Why? Because I can play that a whole lot faster. can't play double paradiddles nearly that fast. So now I'm going to play paradiddle diddle, mix that in with some paradiddles, single paradiddles. So, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have questions, just write those in the comments section, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.